though. Now we welcome in ESPN NBA insider and Cavs expert, Brian Windhorst.
Is Countdown elite, though?
I think so.
Absolutely.
I mean, the graphic would show that it is. Okay. By the way, thank you for coordinating on this side of the table.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated. We have to talk a little bit about this a lot, actually, because the Cavs have been struggling so far in the new year, which brings us to a theme that seems to happen with the history of these guys. In January 2015, LeBron goes on a 2-week sabbatical. Cavs lost 6 straight games to fall to 19-20 on the season. January 2016, Warriors ran the Cavs off the court, a 34-point win. Less than a week later, Coach Lou replaced David Blatt as the Cavs head coach. And then last year, Cleveland lost 6 of 8. Yeah, that was rough. After a 28-8 start, including another rout by Golden State, prompting LeBron to say, quote, "I just hope that we're not satisfied as an organization." And then this season, Cavs lost 3 of the last 4, including the worst plus-minus game in LeBron's career and a 34-point home loss to the Raptors just last night. So I ask you, Wendy, are the struggles of this team in January a big deal?
So I'm not going to overreact because you just mentioned the last 3 years and they've been in the finals all 3 times. But there's something that's a little bit different this year. And one is some of their key players are just not getting it done. J.R. Smith is having arguably the worst season of his career. Jay Crowder, this is their other starter at the wing, has been terrible since he came in this season. He's only had a handful of good games, in my opinion. Tristan Thompson, now he got hurt, and he's still coming back from that in a certain way, but he has not been able to be impactful. He is having a diminished season. These are guys that not only do they count on, they're paying a lot of money to that are not delivering. And regardless of what they do on a certain road trip, the reason they're 29th in defense and the reason that they're going to be in trouble and the reason that they're out there making calls looking to maybe adjust the team heading towards the deadline is because the guys that they have on this roster that they really thought was improved, even with Kyrie Irving traded, have not stepped forward and delivered, and they put a lot of pressure on LeBron James. Even though he's playing so well, they're not. They're below last year's record.
It's like they're forcing LeBron to play at this level, you know, because these guys aren't bringing it every night. It's like he's taking up the slack of what the other guys are not bringing.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy when you bring in 8 new players, right? The team was always up and down defensively, even last year. It got a little better during the playoffs as it went on. But that's the one thing, because defense is all about effort, communication, and kind of being on the same accord, right? When you bring in new guys from different systems, different terminology, you bring them to Cleveland and they basically, like Jalen stated earlier, you're saying, listen, we can relax and get to the finals. And that's not the mentality that you can have. Now you got 8 free agents as well. Everybody being selfish, everybody wanting to play extra minutes. And like Paul Pierce said earlier, everybody wants the ball. When the things are not going well, it's like, all right, well, my turn. Let me show y'all what I can do. And that's just, those are bad remedies when you're talking about trying to get better every single season.
I think it's a big deal because, to me, it takes them further away from being a legitimate threat to win it all this year. When they traded Kyrie Irving, on paper, it looked like they did a really good job of getting what they got in return. Isaiah Thomas has yet, because he's only been out there a couple of games, to get to the form that he was in last year. You mentioned Crowder has been struggling, obviously J.R. Smith. They're still going to win the Eastern Conference. We know it.
We don't know that.
We do know it.
If they
don't
get one of the top 2 seeds, it's going to be hard for them because you got to go play Toronto in the second round, or you got to play Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's going to be a tough road. And say something happens in the second round, battle in Toronto, say an ankle sprain or anything, going into Boston, it's going to be tough.
That indecision that you just said right there is what's plaguing this organization right now. They're looking at it and going, we've got this Brooklyn pick. Okay, today it's the 8th pick. But guess what? It's 2 away from being – it's 2 in the win column away from being the 3rd pick. It's 2 away in the loss column from being the 11th pick. What do they do with it? If it's going to be the 3rd pick, look at this college season. My God, it's loaded. You can't trade that pick, especially for a rental player like DeAndre Jordan, who's on the last year of his contract. But they're sitting there, Paul, and they're saying, what if we're not good enough? What if what happened in 15, 16, and 17 is those years? We can't assume that we're going to get better in 18. And that's a difficult situation. And when they made the Kyrie Irving trade, they did the best they could. But when they made it for that draft pick, they inherited a stare down between LeBron and the organization. And over the next 3 weeks, whether it's passive or whether it's active, that's going to end up becoming an issue.
Can I ask you guys this? Because from LeBron's perspective, let's just play psychoanalyst for a second. The resentment or the resentful feeling that you must have towards these players, because these are new guys, so you don't get to come in here and act like, oh, we'll make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, no big deal. No. LeBron will make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You guys are new. So how dare you come in and act like you're just going to wait for him to pick up all the slack?
You know what allows the role players to act like that? Because we have you. And as long as we're running with you, LeBron, you've shown the last 7 years, whoever runs with you has a rite of passage to make it out of the Eastern Conference. That's why I still feel like they're going to find a way to win the conference. But playing like this, they might get swept against the Golden State Warriors.
There's something else on LeBron, too. LeBron wants to win the MVP. He won't come out in front of a camera and say he wants to win it, but especially after Kyrie leaves, he wants to win the MVP. 3-4 weeks ago, he was the leading candidate, especially James Harden gets hurt. It's them here to take it. Now these guys are messing up his MVP race. Now, it's not the most important thing to him. He wants another ring. But he'd like to win the MVP, too. Right. And those chances are diminishing with his struggles.
No doubt.
Yeah,
you can't mortgage the future.
Yeah.
Can't mortgage the future. Can't give away that pick.
Good advice.
Trying to win a championship, because I don't see that player out there right now. That player's not out there.
LeBron James that we seen in that little video there last night in the
animated
game,
and angry.
We needed to see that LeBron James at the start of the season, 2 or 3 weeks in, just to let the new guys know, come on, man, this is not how we do it
here.
Not
a free ride,
I know
right?
is
here.
That video got posted on IG and Kyrie Irving liked it.
Here we go.
Remember the old videos with LeBron yelling at Kyrie?
Correct. And he like, this is why I wanted to bounce.